Hello. Welcome to Sober Sunrise. But it's not a sober sunrise, it's a sober sunset. Weird day today, and it's now 7:02 p.m., so it's a sober sunset rather than a sober sunrise. That's all right. Um, hope hope you had a great day and are having a great evening. And why don't you just take a moment to go ahead and hit the like button, and then we can get on with the reading. Oh, and if you haven't already done the subscribe thing, hit the subscribe button too. We've been hovering over a very steady number of 17, 18 subscribers, something like that, for a while now. So it wouldn't hurt my feelings if we added a few more. Maybe got some comments in the comment section. But hey, it is what it is, right? Let's get to the reading. Today's August 1st. So we're done with step 7 in the 7th tradition. We should be moving on to step 8 in these readings. So let's see what we got. Living it. The spiritual life is not a theory. We have to live it. When new in the program, I couldn't comprehend living the spiritual aspect of the program. But now that I'm sober, I can't comprehend living without it. Never fails. You start recording and all the dirt bikes and stuff start driving by the house. Sorry about that if you can hear it. Let me start over. When new in the program, I couldn't comprehend living the spiritual aspect of the program. But now that I'm sober, I can't comprehend living without it. Spirituality was what I had been seeking. God, as I understand him, has given me answers to the whys that kept me drinking for 20 years. By living a spiritual life, by asking God for help, I have learned to love, care for, and feel compassion for all my fellow men, and to feel joy in a world where before I felt only fear. It's pretty good stuff. Sounds like something most of us would want, especially when we're in the worst parts of our disease, right? This stuff all sounds pretty good. But yeah, the spiritual life isn't a theory. We have to live it. So what does that mean? Spirituality and religion are two very, 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 very different things to me. There was an analogy I really liked, and I can't remember it now, to explain how I feel about the difference between spirituality and religion. And I'll try to find it maybe for one of the next recordings. But religion is about worshiping. That's what my brain goes to. This is just me. My brain thinks of religion as worshiping something, and that just doesn't jive with me. So I am a very spiritual person, but I am very much not a religious person. I go occasionally to church. I take my son if his mom wants to go, and I want to support her being his mom and being religious, even though, we're not together anymore, but that's not the point. So I go to church sometimes in order to expose my son to different ways of thinking. I want him to be open-minded as he grows. So he's heard me talk about religion and spirituality. He knows where my heart is when it comes to that, but I have never and never will I push anything on him. So the spiritual life isn't a theory for me. I do live it. I just don't live it in the way that religions would have me live it. So I don't use the word God when I pray. In fact, I don't really pray. I talk to my higher power inside my head. I don't usually do it out loud unless I'm doing one of these recordings. So do it however it works for you. But this next part is definitely correct for me. When new in the program, I couldn't comprehend living a spiritual aspect. And now that I'm sober, I can't comprehend living without my spirituality. It took me about 2 years or so to really understand the spiritual side of my existence, and then incorporate that into my recovery. So if you're just starting out, or if you still aren't quite sure where you come down on that, it's okay. Give it time. Have an open mind, though. So a lot of people, when they're new in the program, they're like, I'll never be this, or I'll never be able to find God or have a higher power. And then lo and behold, ask them a couple years, 2, 3, 5 years later, and the story has changed. And it's not because anyone forced it on them. It's because they came to understand what works for them. And when that happens, it's a really comforting feeling. It's a great, great, great feeling. Spirituality was what I had been seeking. I'm trying to think if I can say, yeah, I guess I can relate to that. Spirituality is something that I was sort of on the low seeking. I wasn't out reading all the spiritual books and reading about different religions and doing research and trying to find it, like actively pursuing it. But I was pursuing it. Let's say I had an open heart and I had an open mind. So I was open to it. And I was just kind of waiting for it to find me, I guess. And it worked. God, as I understand him, has given me answers to the whys that kept me drinking for 20 years. I could see that. Yeah, for me it was I found the answers to my whys by doing the steps and talking to people and really thinking about the path that leads me to make the choices that I make. And actually, so that path is a series of choices, right? Every single step on the path is a choice, and you either choose to go one way or the other. So thinking about the choices that led me to the pattern of how I lived. And I figured that out, and then the spirituality came to me. Whereas this person received the answers from God as he or she understands God. So for me, it was just the opposite. I found the answers, and then I found spirituality. This one found spirituality and then found the answers. Hey, as long as it works, I don't care how you get there. By living a spiritual life, by asking God for help, I have learned to love, care for, and feel compassion for all my fellow men. Whew. And to feel joy in a world where before I felt only fear. Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome, especially in this day and age. This life, this world that we're living in right now is just, it's been designed to divide us. Because as long as we're looking left and we're looking right at each other, we're not looking up at the ones or forward at the ones who are really pulling the strings. That's my political soapbox, and I'll get off of it. But by living a spiritual life, by asking God for help, by asking my higher power for help or understanding, or by asking for the ability to just understand life and what it's all about, why we're here and all that, I have learned to love. I've learned to care for and feel compassion for all my fellow men. And while that is true, I do still struggle at times. I mean, we are living in a very, very divisive world, and I don't care I don't care who you are, unless you're like a monk sitting on the side of a mountain. You disagree with someone about something, and if you're passionate enough about that topic, it's real easy to forget to have compassion for everyone. And trying not to get too political about this, but it's being used against us. That passion for the things that we care about is being weaponized to turn us against each other. And it's really hard to exist like that. And the alternative is to just do your best to turn off all the noise from the outside And kudos to you if you can do that. I'm still working on that. I need to get better at that. Yesterday's video was about the Serenity Prayer and accepting the things that I can't change. And this is right into that same conversation. I can't change how you feel about a topic that I'm passionate about. I have to remember to just have compassion for you even if you disagree with me. And that's real challenging sometimes. Working on it. To feel joy in a world where before I only felt fear. Yeah, fear. I don't feel as much fear anymore, but it definitely is still there. But like I said in yesterday's video too, fear is a useful tool if you use it the right way, because it can teach you things about yourself. And if you use, here comes a loud motorcycle, if you use that message to do good and to help understand yourself, then fear is very, very helpful. But if you avoid it, then it's not helpful. It's this looming thing that you have to run from. And you can never run far enough, fast enough, because it's always there. Because guess what? It's right here. You can't run away from it. You can't move to a new place and leave your fear behind. None of that stuff works. You have to deal with it. You have to face it. So, yeah, I like this reading a lot. It's a good way to start the month. And that's about all I have on this one. I'm actually really tired. I'm going to go, I think, just meditate a bit and sit outside and meditate, although it's really noisy out right now. I don't know. But anyway, thank you for listening. As you can see, I'm rambling because my mind is all over the place. Thank you for listening and being here and supporting the channel. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and then share the video or the channel, the whole channel, with someone who might benefit from listening to these kinds of messages. And the more we thumbs up, the more we like it and subscribe and share it, the more the algorithm will understand that this is useful and it should be seen by more people. All right? All right. That's it for tonight. It's weird to be doing this at night, but hey, at least it's done. So thank you again, whoever you are and wherever you are and whenever you're listening to this. I do want you to know that you are enough and you are loved and you are supported and you can do this. You can get better. You can heal. It might seem impossible, but I promise you it's not. So you can heal. We are capable of amazing things. And I was listening to a research study, listening to a show about a study that shows that just by people saying you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, without any other action, people start to show physiological signs of improvement. So you can do it. I believe in you. You've got this. Keep coming back. I love you very much, and I love all of you, and I feel compassion for all of my fellow men and women and none of the above. So have a great night, and I'll be back at it in about 10 to 12 hours. All right. Thanks again. Bye.